Welcome back to another episode of the Panther Soccer Podcast, episode 27, the Morgan Barnett episode. What do you have to say about Morgan Barnett?
You know, she's pretty cool. No, she seems really friendly. Talked to her a couple times. Pretty productive. One of our bench players currently, our bench is like extremely good this year in particular. Believe she has a couple goals. I actually don't have player stats pulled up right now, but I believe she has a couple goals, a couple assists on the season. We watched her have a breakout season 2 springs ago, I think.
Yep.
Last year she's fighting a bit of an injury. But it's nice to have her on the team this year, coming off the bench consistently.
Yeah, it's very true, and I don't know, it's just fun to watch her. Her and Macy do really good up top as the substitute forwards whenever the two of them take off, Lauren Heinch and Olivia Kneffley. Like, I don't know, every time she steps on the field, I get a little more excited. Not only that, but her dad is like the GOAT. Best dad in the league, by far. We're also kind of biased because like he provides us with like treats and stuff for like our tailgates, and like whenever we show up, he's always like, "Hey, I got some chips for you guys today." I'm like, the dude's awesome.
It's fun.
Not only that, but one of my favorite quotes of his is like I was hyping up Morgan to him, being like, "Oh, Morgan's having a big year," and he's like, "Yeah, I just know that I can still take her in the backyard."
That's funny.
Wait, I think she has to have scored, right? Because she scored against St. Thomas. Who am I thinking of?
No, you might be thinking of a previous year, St. Thomas.
Omaha, she scored. And then, she
right,
did score
you're
against St. Thomas. Look at that. She has 2 goals this year.
Okay. No assists?
She passes the ball a lot. Like,
Yeah, I know.
I feel like
I'm
she's...
kind of surprised by that.
Yeah. All right. So this past week we played 2 games. One against Valparaiso, which we'll briefly mention on because we don't want to talk about it
I've
that much.
actually completely forgotten that we played that game last week.
Probably for the best because that was not a good game at all.
It was not.
Lost that game 2-0. I didn't watch any of it, but Spencer sent me quite a few highlights from the game. And, well, one of the goals they scored, their first one, looked controversial to say the least, as it was definitely a handball from what I saw.
Yeah, off the player's forearm, off the chest, maybe off the chest just a little bit, but tucked in. I think in women's soccer there might be a rule for that, but generally speaking, if you can't score with the part of your body, then it's a handball. Sorry, that didn't make sense.
Should have been a handball.
If it's a handball and anywhere else on the field, you can't score with that, so I can't like punch in the ball, obviously. So it took a deflection off her. I initially thought that goal was offsides on the corner, but someone was hanging out on the post, as well as Caitlin was right there. So onside's a valid goal. If it's not a handball, I think it's close. I wasn't happy with the non-call, but a rough on the let-in.
Yeah, I don't know.
Second goal, I actually completely forget about.
Probably for the best.
I remember just being disappointed about the goal. It was just, for those of you who didn't watch the game, first off, I believe it was an 8 o'clock kickoff, p.m., or maybe 7.
It was 7.
7 sounds, 7 o'clock kickoff, like, from the looks of it, like, pretty much a downpour the entire game. So pretty miserable playing conditions. Just not our night. Valparaiso looked good. I actually think we looked really good in the first half, and especially towards the back end of the first half, down the stretch, those final like 5-10 minutes. I was like, we're in control of this game. We're gonna get one. Did not happen before half, and obviously the second half looked like a different team. It was kind of a disappointing loss there. Something that, at the end of the day, did not affect our standings, but just kind of a tough one, confidence-wise, going into the postseason.
Yeah, it basically automatically meant that we weren't going to get a top 2 seed, but with the other results, I don't think it mattered. So, like you said,
right? Yes.
But it is what it is. Let's just hop right into the fun. Illinois State, man, what a field day that was. Every time I've gone up to a player so far this week, being like, "Hey, great win on Sunday," I always like smirk a little bit, being like, that was funny. 8 goals in one game. And I feel bad not feel bad. Yeah, feel bad is probably the right term. But the goalkeeper for Illinois State, that was her only game she played in all season. Like, because Illinois State had nothing to play for. They were eliminated from the playoffs. This senior goalkeeper didn't play at all this season. So it's like, well, here's your chance. Go have fun. Go give up 8 goals to UNI.
Yeah, it's just kind of a shame we couldn't keep our clean sheet. They honestly should have probably scored 2 or 3.
Yeah,
They had some really good opportunities that they didn't even put on target. Like I don't understand, but our team was absolutely like what a showcase going into the playoffs. Other teams gonna be watching these. Maybe it's bad they have so much film. They're like, you and I scored in all these different ways. We know all their scoring ways now, but yeah, 8 goals. I think there were assists on 7 of the goals, if I'm remembering right.
Yes, 7 of the goals.
So
Giselle Loza with an assist.
Yeah.
Sorry, that I interrupted.
No, you're good. But it's just like an incredible team effort, and really, I have 0 complaints about the game. It was just so much fun. Olivia Bull puts the first goal in the net just 7 minutes in.
And that was huge because that's her first goal of her UNI career. And
Yeah.
on the broadcast, Tim Harwood compared Olivia Bull to Allison Whitaker and being like, oh yeah, Olivia Bull with her first goal, pulling in Allison Whitaker stepping up to the box on a corner kick and putting the ball back to the net.
Yeah.
I don't know. So that's a good comparison, I think.
Yeah.
And,
So the first goal, a volley, I think,
Yep.
was this one a header? I think the volley was versus Valpo, that was saved. I think this was a header.
I don't remember. There was 8 goals. How are you
check.
supposed to remember all 8?
But anyways, this is just 7 minutes into the game, and just as a reminder, obviously this is past, but we clinched a 3 seed with a win. So just 7 minutes in, we're already in that position. Just a great way to set up for the rest of the game. And we did not let up the attack. Again, 7 goals after that first one.
Ashley Harrington with a goal 9 minutes later, and if I remember correctly, it was just a great pass from Lauren Heinz.
Beautiful assist, like world class.
Yeah, wide open net for Ashley to put it in, and then 15 minutes later, Olivia Kneffley, I think, had a breakaway goal. I don't remember how she scored that one, but
Yeah.
9th goal of the year for her. 10 minutes later, Illinois State converted on one of their chances. I like how you mentioned, like, they probably should have scored more than once because there's a lot of opportunities for them to score. They just shot it wide a lot, it felt like. I think it says 7 shots, total in the game. Okay, the save count's wrong. I'm just going to straight up say that. There's no shot we did not make a single save. I know for a fact Kennedy made one, and I'm assuming Caitlin made one, but I'm not the stat keeper. And then 3 minutes later, with potentially one of the best goals that we've scored all year with Jaylee Hicklin, the 25-yard chip right over the goalkeeper. I was very happy. Not to sound biased or anything, but she is my favorite player, so I was very happy to see her finally get her first goal as a UNI Panther.
Yeah, and maybe, did we decide it was collegiate career as well?
It probably is her collegiate career. I would assume so.
Our recap article, whoever writes those, said that it was her first collegiate career goal, which is pretty exciting. It was a beautiful goal. Moving on, I'm just going to read them off because there were a lot.
Yeah.
Goal by Olivia, assisted by Denise. Lauren, assisted by Ashley. Macy, assisted by Sydney. And Sydney, assisted by Giselle. 2 notable things. We had, I believe, 3 different players with a goal and an assist.
Was it Ashley, Lauren, and Olivia? Or
Sydney.
Oh, that's right. Sydney Bursty got a goal. That was really cool to see as well.
And an assist.
And an assist on, Macy's goal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the freshman class with 3 goal contributions today. Obviously, Olivia scoring straight up, assist by Maddie. And then we have Giselle, assist, and Denise, an assist. So, again, I mean, we've been saying it since probably as soon as we realized, like, game 2 or 3, that our freshman class is so special. So a great game, and that result very much so firmly got us the number 3 seed. Other results from the day, Everything went according to plan, honestly, in the Valley. No surprises. Missouri State and Drake both won. UIC beat Valpo, and Murray State, Indiana State tied. That's maybe a little bit of
a shock because Indiana State did they even make the playoffs? If so, they got like the 8th seed.
They did not.
Okay, that's what I thought. I had a weird feeling that Evansville was like 7th or 8th, but who knows?
So yeah, no surprises there. Drake is hosting the semifinals and the finals, which means that 5 out of the 7 playoff games are in Iowa, which is pretty exciting. If you ask me, it makes our jobs very much easy.
Our producer behind the camera is laughing up a storm.
It's about the Jesus guy.
All right. Here? Oh, so a lot of the playoff games are in Iowa, which makes our job easy. We can bring you live coverage from the semifinals and finals when we make them.
Hopefully we make it. That would be awesome if we made the Final Four, but
yeah.
We have
a tough road, I think, honestly.
Yeah, when you look at the bracket, so we get a first round bye, but we'll play the winner of either Belmont or Valpo. 2 very high quality teams, I would say, especially Valpo. They just beat us, and
definitely Valpo.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if we play Belmont, it'll be a little bit easier, but we also don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We don't want to like step into the game super cocky, but yeah.
I would probably prefer Belmont. It's so tough to say. Actually, yeah, I would prefer Belmont. We beat them in the regular season. Again, we can't go into that game cocky. We beat them 1-0 on the road. That was our only road win this year. Valpo, we lost 2-0. We just we're talking about that. Kind of a weird circumstance, that loss, but I do think Valpo played better than us in that game. So I would prefer Belmont to win. So that game kicks off at 2 o'clock Central Time, and the weather as it currently stands is a very high chance for either rain and or thunderstorms. So if you're going to this game, make sure to bring your weather proper stuff. We'll get into our game's weather later just to talk about it because it's kind of cool. But yeah, the other game in the first round is Evansville versus Murray State. Who do you think walks away with that one?
Oh, easily Murray State.
Yeah.
Evansville did not look good. Like, honestly, if it wasn't for Evansville's goalkeeper, I can't think of her name, but if it wasn't for her, like, they wouldn't be anywhere close to the playoffs. Like, I genuinely didn't think as a team they played very well. Yeah, they got 2 lucky goals against us. But outside of that, like, their goalkeeper carried.
Yeah, I'm trying to find their head-to-head. Were they the first game? Nope. Uh-oh. All this dead time. I'm just going to keep talking. Well,
yeah, Murray State.
It was a 0-0 draw when they met at Murray State. I don't know. That was pretty early in the season. Murray State has proven themselves to be
a hot team, yeah.
Contenders. Obviously, a couple key losses, like they lost to Drake, so.
Plus, that's the 5-8 game, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Murray State will win 2-0, honestly. Like, I think they'll get 2 by the goalkeeper, and I don't know, Murray State, when they played us, didn't seem like they made too many mistakes. Like, well, I guess they made 1, we just couldn't score. But still, like, yeah, what do you think about that game?
The Murray State game?
Yeah.
I wish we could have that back. That was
No, I mean the Murray State Evansville game.
Yeah.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think Murray State walks away with it. We'll just stay on that side of the bracket now. Murray State, if they beat, basically the winner of that game will play UIC, and this is both these games are played in Chicago. So UIC versus either of those teams.
I think UIC loses that game, no matter who they play. Well, okay, if they play Evansville, that's an easy win. But if they play Murray State, I think Murray State walks away with a win.
Me too. I think if you look at those standings are one of the few that switched this last week. I believe Murray State was the 4 seed, and they tied.
on the last week, so they moved down to
Yep.
5th. Gotcha.
So they moved down.
UNI
Murray
State's a great team, though. It's just,
They are a
I
good
think,
team.
with how Murray State's been playing lately, I feel like they have a lot of confidence. UIC's been like they're a roller coaster, essentially. One week they're up, the very next week they're losing to a team like Evansville.
Yeah. I think UIC was in the middle of the pack most of the season, so it's kind of weird to see them at the 4 seed. I think Murray State's a better team. They would win that. So, and we're just in our hypothetical scenarios. Well, no.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Belmont Valpo. We know what we want to happen. What do you think will happen?
I think Valpo will win that game 2-1. But a thing that we're not even considering, what if that game gets pushed back to Friday? That would be huge for us. Sorry, I just interrupted. But,
No, that'd be good.
That would be huge for us because that means there's one less day of rest between the two teams before they play us.
Yeah.
That would be awesome if the game gets delayed to Friday.
Yeah.
Because of bad weather. And then
If it's delayed to Friday, you're automatically talking 48 hours or less.
Yep.
Probably of rest. That would be good for us. Maybe not want it for them, but I think Valpo wins that game as well. So I think we should probably expect to play Valpo. Here's the tricky thing. We play Valpo. We lost to them 2-0, correct?
But we played them at Valpo.
Yeah.
And we were just really bad on the road. That's just an issue we've been having all year. I'm not wrong. We went 1-4 in conference play on the road. I feel like I have the right to say that we weren't very good on the road.
No, yeah.
Is that controversial?
That's correct.
We're good.
Yeah, it was another thing where we played those top teams on the road. We knew this coming into the season that the road schedule was going to be so critical. I think playing at home, we could eke out a win, one final win at home. It would be a shame to lose the one game that truly matters, the playoffs at home. Our weather forecast for Sunday.
Bro,
The
it's gonna be
snow,
so cold.
the snow is not very likely anymore. However, as it sits right now, as of recording, do we tell them when we record?
It's Wednesday when we're recording. The day before Belmont or Valparaiso,
Yeah.
Belmont.
So as of Wednesday afternoon, it is forecasted to be a high of 38 degrees.
Wait, for the entire day?
Yeah.
Holy cow, it's gonna be freezing. If you're going to the game on Sunday, dress up. As in put on a coat.
Suits. We should wear suits to the Belmont game. Belmont Valpo.
That's what I've been telling people that
could
we
be
might do that.
scouts.
But if it's raining, I don't want to
Yeah, that's
ruin
true.
a suit. So
Anyways, so that's gonna be very cold weather. It might shock Valpo a bit. I don't know. Yeah, so I think we can beat Valpo, and then let's go on to our potential Final Four. Murray State versus Drake, and UNI versus Missouri State.
Oh, in our hypothetical?
Yeah.
Well, Drake would probably win that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And then hopefully we beat Missouri State. But
I think I'm gonna tap us out in the semifinals. I think realistically, Missouri State's a very tough opponent. One of the best keepers in the conference.
Camille Day, what can I say?
I could say we are very much so. I would even be as bold to say that we are basically sharing the home semifinals and finals with Drake.
Yep.
And we have a great support. Our parents traveled a lot. They traveled for the Drake game. They're definitely gonna travel for the playoffs. So I think if we play at Drake, it's still gonna be a home atmosphere.
I mean, we'll be there.
Yeah, we'll be there, and yeah, it's very much going to be still a home game, in a sense. But Missouri State's a tough opponent. I would maybe have us lose that one, unfortunately. But there's a reason why we play the games, and I actually think we didn't. If I remember right, didn't look bad against Missouri State. We actually only lost 1-0, and they scored that goal kind of late, if I remember right. So we can flip that result. A 1-0 result is not hard to flip. So basically, the big teams in this tournament are the top three.
Yeah.
Us, Missouri State, and Drake.
And then the fourth team is just a wild card at this point between Murray State, UIC, Evansville.
Yeah.
I did find out that that Evansville did beat UIC though during the regular season. So Evansville.
That's their singular win.
Yeah. Well, in conference play, but yeah. I think that's crazy to think that Evansville is basically us from last year because we had 2 conference wins last year, but a boatload of ties.
It would have been 2-6.
2-6 last year. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. We are the only team in the conference this year that has not tied, which is quite interesting, and we will finish that way because, well, do they log overtime as ties technically?
We sort of.
I know that they do sometimes, and sometimes they just log it as a loss. And other times it's a tie with the overtime result.
But we did tie against Western Illinois. I don't know if you're counting that. It was non-conference.
I was talking conference, but yeah, we do have that one.
Oh, yeah. Overtime games, like PKs are registered as a tie.
Okay.
But double overtime counts as a win or loss. So.
Yeah. So, some very quick things. The RPI rankings, again, were updated. We drop a little bit, again, kind of to be expected. I think we were kind of rounded out the season with a 50% win rate the past 4 weeks, so it makes sense. Missouri State sitting at 84 is the highest in our conference. Then Drake at 104, UNI at 122. Southern Illinois rounds out the bottom at 316. And it's also kind of fun to note that our RPI rankings are almost in exact order of our tournament seeds. So
other than Drake, Missouri State, but who's counting? Oh, and Evansville is.
I thought the top was this. They're not.
We tried. Plus, Evansville is above Belmont.
Yeah, because by the time you flip 2 teams, that's already 4 out of 11 that are wrong. RPI rankings suck. They don't know what they're talking about. We remain out of the coaches poll.
Nothing changed.
I don't
at all.
Don't have a problem with that. Yeah, they didn't change a single team's rankings.
But Drake isn't there, so I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. So, anything else to talk about for the playoffs? There's just so much open, and a lot of it depends on if we win a game. We'll take it one game at a time here, and kind of feel things out.
Nothing major I can think of. We just got to win our games. We got to take it, like you said, one game at a time. But I don't know. We just can't take whoever. Okay, if we do play Belmont in the first round or in the quarterfinal, we just cannot take that lightly. We cannot overlook that. We have to. Yeah. We just can't overlook Belmont if that's who we end up playing.
Yeah, it would be good. Again, we're undefeated at home this year, so if we could scoot out one more home win to bring us to the semifinals, and this team made the semifinals last year, I think a run in this tournament of any kind would be a great cap to the end of the season. If we go out in the first round, kind of bittersweet. Like, what was all this for? We placed tied to highest place in program history for our conference. We've placed third, I think, once or twice before.
Yep.
And we've been in this conference for decades. So, a very good team this year. Like we've talked about, broken many records. So it'd be really nice for them to get just 2 or 3 more wins, preferably 3, and win our conference tournament.
Yeah, very well said. I like that. Also, I think it's crazy that they're selling tickets for this game. Like, how does that work?
It could be something passed down from the valley themselves. Like, they could need revenue from the tournament.
Well, I get that, but, like, I'm just, like, curious on how they're, like, where's this ticket booth going to be located at the field? Because, like, I'll show a map on the video version, but I don't get how, like, where are they going to put up a ticket booth? Like, how are they going to know?
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Yeah, so for those of you who watch but might not be at a game, there's probably very few people, but basically our field's like wide out in the open.
Yep.
There's no large building or structure. There's no way to funnel people or traffic into the stadium.
Yep.
Logistically speaking, you can maybe, but you just have to block off a few roads because you could get to the field from any angle.
Yep.
So that's what we mean when it could be hard to set up like an official ticket booth.
And according to the map, we're gonna have a concession stand.
That'd be nice, you
Oh
know.
boy.
If it's 38 degrees out and they have hot chocolate,
Oh man.
I can't. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say no to that.
Can't
Are you
say
kidding
no.
me? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because they're blocking off certain parking lots. According to the map. But other than that, like I'm not seeing anything. I mean, I'm still gonna park where I usually park.
Yeah.
I don't see any issues with that.
I'd actually be curious to see if they let us in.
Well, I'm gonna get there 2 hours early, so not gonna be.
Yeah. Well,
I think that wraps it up.
yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, we have more than one episode after this one, because that means we continued. There will be at least one more though. It just all depends on how the team is playing, and yeah. So any last words before we sign off?
Go Cats.
Go Cats.
Belmont and Valpo should just not arrive, and we'll just go straight to Des Moines.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to go to Des Moines for, the semifinal games.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Soccer players, if any of y'all are watching, which I would assume some of them are, please win. Please win on Sunday. Please. Like, I want to make the semifinals. That'd be nice. And then, win that. And then win the championship. And then go to NCAAs and beat Michigan
you
State.
might as well just win that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Make our soccer season longer. Something's missing. All right. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.
Bingo.